The Coppernado is back.
Coppernado.
What do you want? Yeah? What? Nope. Next question.
Let's see what to do.
You think you have a pretty hot suspect right now, don't you?
Percent up, yeah,
Pull
100%.
out toolbox and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Yes, I got the mercenary's name and a few biographical details. Are you ready?
The lieutenant leans in to listen, notebook in hand.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Ellis Kortenaer. That's Ellis Kortenaer. Exact date of birth, unknown. He was signed into the Lelystad County Neonatal Care Unit on 28th of February 09. He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent 4 months in the neonatal unit, survived apparently, and was assigned to a foster family at 2. This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the East Brand Military Academy in Vredefort at 17, then served in the Oranese forces till he was honorably discharged in 41, just a year before the Seminese conflict. Then the armor followed him to Seminine, or at least I assume it did. And that's it. There are no records of his employment in Crenel, or any of its other incarnations, or him even entering Revachol. It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's a detail the hospital had, the only detail in these files. So I thought it would be good for you to know.
It is. Thank you, Alice.
None, officer. Sorry.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their inventory. Thank you, Alice. Great work.
No problem, Lieutenant.
A name. This is very good. Elise Cortenard.
I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. Did you have any 57?
In the cabin, east.
I need to save that. I need to call in again.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Just a sec.
See if there's anything with Sylvie now.
Oh, great. What else do you need, detective?
Test Classia's story. Was it you who called the police?
No, not me.
Do you know who made the call?
No, sorry. People don't...
So do you?
Seems like Glacia wasn't lying when she said it was her. This corroborates her story. She made the call.
I wouldn't be so sure, detective.
Yeah, go on.
You hear?
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
Library.
Hold on, officer. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to their librarian. Connecting the call in 2, 1.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer?
Looking for information on Billy Mejan.
Billy Majon, you said. Give me a moment, I'll have to check our database.
On Moreau Drive in central Jamrock, in a darkened hall lit by orange desk lamps far away from the noise outside, a middle-aged man taps commands into an old radio computer. A printout falls on the desk. Behind him, a lonely reader scours some dusty bookshelves, looking for a paperback.
Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Majon's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Home address is fine.
Here we go, sir.
We're gonna run there. I know what it is. One of these apartments here. If it's not outside, then it's inside. Could it be this?
A weathered brown door. The number reads 20. Something smells good. Soup alongio. The lieutenant motions to you to go ahead and knock.
You're right. Let's talk this through.
You hear light footsteps passing by the door and some folk music playing on the radio.
We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Méjean. We need to confirm this, as well as deliver the death notification to Billy herself. Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary. Dead? Just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't. Yes, it's hard. But there is no easy way to handle this information. It just has to happen, as soon as possible.
The lieutenant motions towards the door,
Knock.
and someone turns down the radio.
Look at the lieutenant first.
He gives you a short, encouraging nod. Tidying up, nervously.
It's his house, alright?
It's you from the bookstand. Did you come to bring my cockatoo back? I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink? Tea? Lemonade? We're out of coffee.
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief for now. You're on your own here.
It's not about cockatoo.
She just nods. Keep it together. Your body language shouldn't give it away.
Sorry, I'm rambling. It's just that Victor often gets into all kinds of trouble. So, how can I help you?
How about some small talk before you break the news?
Noticed you were cooking something.
People got to eat. What is this about? Why are you suddenly asking me about my cooking?
I need bloody empathy.
How have I been? You're not here to discuss me. What is this about, officer?
Can't write a scene without knowing the actors. Ask more.
Too much
Get
small
comfortable
talk.
around her.
You're fucking kidding me.
It's me, Victor. And the kids here. We have 2 daughters, Jenny and Jolie. They came home later. The girls are staying at their friend's place tonight.
She swallows visibly.
He has a problem with drinking, and so he disappears every now and then. He's probably in the parks drinking with his friends. I sent him to the library a few days ago, but I guess something came up.
Did he make it to the library?
No, I guess I'll find out when he decides to come back home. It shouldn't be long from now. He's never gone for more than a few days.
The name of the library.
Oh, it's in Jamrock. The one at Mayro Street. I don't know the official name.
Central Jamrock Public Library?
I think, yes, if that's the one on Mayro.
It is.
What was he supposed to do in the library?
Just to return a book of mine. Why? Why all those questions, detective?
Was it the glinting
Did he-
curve?
Yes,
What was he wearing?
his old leather jacket.
Describe.
It's just your average brown leather jacket, but he bought it as a teenager, so
Inner lining.
yes. The lining is hand-sewn, it's blue. I tried to make the thing more weatherproof since he...
She folds her hand. Here it comes.
Yeah, too much small talk. Empathy. Man, I got so many points. It's fucking crazy. How much is it now? 58%, please work.
I don't want to.
Fuck. Dante, how you doing, Dante? How's the lockdown? Loose or tight?
It's you. I don't...
The lieutenant has taken. Keep it.
Sorry,
How about some small talk?
it's me. The girls...
She's.
He's probably in the... No, it shouldn't be long. Oh,
Central.
I think...
It is.
Just to return... Yes. His old... it's just your Yes. The...
Here it comes.
Raise the empathy. 83% this time.
You've done this before. Just keep your focus.
You did, and what do you think about it? Do you think it's real or not? I know what I think. To me, it looks pretty fucking authentic, you know. Freaking scary. It's a very old video. Audio is also late.
Yes. That's the most important thing. Use that word. No euphemisms. This is what you came here for.
What did you say?
A great and terrible spike. The blood freezes in her veins.
Oh. Oh. But... he was just...
But he was just here. Alive.
We understand this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions. Take your time, ma'am.
What happened to him?
It seems he slipped and hit his head.
Was he drunk?
We will let you know when the results arrive.
I see. And you just found him there, lying in the cold. How long had he been there?
If you say 2 days maybe, it will be etched in her mind forever.
Hard to say at this point.
She blinks, eyes welling up with tears, as her hand starts searching for something from the pockets of her dress. The handkerchief.
No words, give her the lieutenant's handkerchief.
A small, terrified smile quivers on her face as she takes the handkerchief and wipes away the tears. She looks disoriented.
Is there anyone we could call for you? A friend, a family member, someone who could be here for you?
No. I just need to tell my girls.
It burns like acid. Unreal.
God, should I call them? Should I tell them to come home?
No. A day.
Take a day to recover.
Good. That's probably the right thing. Thank you. Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him?
We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to contact him earlier.
A very good call.
Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still... Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I'll call if...
These are her last reserves of strength. Her muscles will give in soon. Already, she starts to shake.
We should step outside and talk. You did well. I'll call the station when we're finished with the day and let them know the name of the deceased. That's it. We should get back to our case now that our duty here is done. They'll manage.
They have to. It's not your place to live their lives.
Let's go.
Let me check the tasks. Ask about Ruby in the village. Check bullet traces. Find Classia's passport. Inform Pleasance and Dice Maker. That's close by. We're gonna do that. After I'm done with that, we're gonna go to the village. There's very, very little left.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous
Got
People.
another copy of Dick Mullen.
sorry, sir. Some of these old paperbacks just don't have the durability. I would be happy to sell you another one, but unfortunately, it's the last copy we had in stock.
I found the actual source of doom.
What do you mean, actual source? I thought this issue was resolved. What?
A tiny hole in reality.
Ma'am, what he's saying is true. We found an anthroponetic anomaly in the small Pinewood church down the coast. I don't mean to be an alarmist, and more research is needed, but it's not looking good.
But that's not in any of the ancient texts. How am I supposed to protect my bookstore from that?
Tell her the truth. It's out of her hands.
You can't protect it. No, you can protect it with hope by refusing to give up.
You're right, officer. I mustn't lose faith, especially now that Annette is finally settling in at school and making friends. No, we can't just leave. Besides, didn't I have some Sailite hope catchers around here somewhere? I must find them. Everything will be all right if I can just find them. Thank you for your help in any case. You're welcome back here anytime.
The dice maker. Okay, without a flashlight.
Oh, it's you again.
I found
Are
the
you
actual
looking for a
source of the
guide?
curse.
You mean the curse that I'm
So little tasks left. Joyce. Show Joyce your bitch. Next. Don't even know who else to ask about the tattoo. Read about cockatoos in a library. Very, very little is left. And this is all done. Man, I did a lot of tasks. Although I don't know how many hours I've spent in so far. For all of those tasks. Nearly 38 hours, bloody hell. We go to Joyce. After Joyce, we go to Village. Maybe I'll be able to finish this game today. Maybe. I don't know, Dante, I don't have a freaking clue. It's very hard for me to decide what I want to do actually next. She's not here. She went to the village on the coast. Fuck you, Joyce. To the village on the coast.
Awful lonely here. No ruckus. No old men playing their little ball game.
What happened with the colors here? Weird bug. Very weird. Find Joyce.
I'll just keep the Corda Lacey in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier.
Aye, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way.
Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day. Jetty.
Something about the way she says it makes you want to sing.
Oh, jetty. It's good to see you here, detectives. I only just arrived myself.
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
That. And she's also keeping an eye on you.
Spying on us.
Spying has such a negative connotation. I did track your progress along the coast, however, and decided I would be better able to assist you from here. Then there's the matter of that little scamp in old lady clothes. She threatened to paint the cordelate she read. Like blood, you see. Well, I like it the way it is. White. How do I like it?
Water drips down eaves of Eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name. All the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there? I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your questions while you can.
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull grey metal rests in her scabbard. A sword. The wind is too loud for her to hear.
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
All right. Politics time. Let's react.
Try not to be scared, this is just how the real city looks.
Oh, I'm not frightened, officer. I'd never...
Above you, there forms a quilt of altocumulus clouds, twisting into each other. The wind tugs and stretches them over the bay. Their cloud shadows slide over the ruins of Revachol West. Wherever they pass, the temperature drops slightly, but perceptibly.
Have I told you how they discovered this place? No, they're in Sealindian, Isala. Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty. I knew you would sympathize. Most Revacholians will never know what this place means. Our home. This island of matter. Or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
Tell me now, we got time.
Do we?
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for cautious optimism. I would not want to delay you. Maybe there is something else I can assist you with while you're hot in pursuit.
Now, where was the badge thing?
Until you come up with something at that intersection. I'm glad to hear, officer. I'm sure you'll find out just what that means soon enough.
One of the drivers was present at the lynching.
The two might even be connected.
Or not.
As eager as I am to share it,
She simply nods.
oh,
This whole thing is a takeover.
Is what you're about to say when a cold streak runs through your heart. Once said, there is no going back, Harry. Yes, come back to this later. Almost gave you a heart attack, that one.
of course, Detective. You can always drop by later, should something come up. Now, of course. Of course.
Don't tell her you've met Everard right away. There's time.
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. Better not tie the forestay to the backstay on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
I really wish to check up on something. Then I can do everything else. But first, yes. I believe it was this one.
The trap is filled with dead and dying locusts. Most of them aren't moving anymore. You still can't.
There is no Fuzzmid, it was all a lie.
A few locusts trudge along the wall of the trap. The rest are piled in a heap.
Right? Now where was the shot made? Sister, how you doing? Everything is same as every other day in the last year and a half. No, I played Dragon
Is there
Age.
something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower.
I wanted to say I played Dragon Age recently. It wasn't recent. It was 2 years ago. This time 2 years ago. And it felt like it was yesterday, to be honest. Unbelievable. I played hundreds of games between in the meantime. No, I won't replay Dragon Age Origins. No.
In the distance, you can hear the breakers roar.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freighter. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there. In the whirling in rags.
Maybe the campfire was used by the perpetrator.
To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps, but anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fires this time of year. Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out biddable prime, was it? It's not possible to climb that ladder, and even if it were, why? There's no platform up there to aim from.
It does look extremely rickety, and wouldn't help much either.
What about the cigarette butts?
Those? A smoking assailant who favors Tumutiri to Astra or Joanne? Cigarette butts are everywhere. This is a common brand for all men.
Tiomotiri was a Revacholian colony on Ilmaran. The Suzerainties population was mostly Ilmaran Areopagites, up to 97%. The region was known for its tobacco export, hence the name.
Listen, you need to understand it from my point of view. I would replay some games, alright? I would stick with playing, I don't know, League of Legends if I want to have fun. I would play Dragon Age 10 times in a row. I'd play Diablo 1 30 times in a row, alright? I would play Path of Exile still. And so on and so on. But that's not the point. I want to have variety content for my YouTube channel, which means that it's a very bad thing for me to replay games if I want to add a new content. Okay? So, what I'll play next is something that I don't already have on my YouTube channel. And that's a very hard thing to find, something that I haven't played so far. So only new. Something that I don't got. If there is an afterlife and I can watch all of my videos, you know, then maybe I will. One day. It would take years. Bloody years.
Oh, you do? The butts you saw had a silhouette of a boy wearing a coffee hat, a tobacco picker. This boy is the Tiamatiri brand logo. Contemporary Rivasholians prefer Juan, a local blend from the southern islands, or Astra, a legendary cigarette from Grad. Tiamatiri is favored by older men who like its old-fashioned paper filter tips, insane amount of tar, and the sweet smells of colonialism and halva.
Look to the whirling.
There, 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay, blue from the distance and the air, you see the smallest rectangle, barely visible.
But that's what I'm talking about. You need new stuff, okay? You need new games.
A glowing light on the third floor of the Whirling in Rags. With binoculars, you would see a young woman's shape move behind the glass, her limbs long and slender.
No matter if games are great, okay? Divinity, Dragon Age, everything that you can come about, you still need new stuff, alright? Even if it's worse, it's new.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown
There we go.
As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others. The edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched.
Move.
Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand though.
Search the sand.
You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then something hard wrapped in paper. A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet.
9mm bullet.
A 9mm bullet, to be exact. Fit for all muzzle loaders of that caliber. Like your own Werglia's pistol, for example. The floorboard isn't interested. Maybe the washerwoman is. You have enough to confront her with. It's extra ammunition. She's locked and loaded, ready to fight some cops.
I know I've seen everything about Wasteland 3, but it's gonna be a short DLC. I got my old saves, I hope they're gonna work so I don't have to replay the entire game, I'll just play the DLC when it comes out.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the way.
Why is there a bullet under the floorboards?
Damn that girl.
And without anger, a long and harsh life has taught her not to buckle under pressure.
A bullet? You didn't put it there, did you?
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either.
You rented the room to her?
Yes. I let my room to that Ruby girl. As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people here.
When was this?
She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into, that girl?
That's for the police to find out. Right then, please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
She probably heard the lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you.
Yes, that is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you are coming.
I cleaned it, like I always do. No,
The truth, sire.
What is she like?
she's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time, kept to herself. She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room.
Why do you think she left a bullet?
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
Where's she go?
I don't know. Further up the coast. She tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north.
It's a peninsula. She might be trapped.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
I wouldn't worry about that, man. We are persistent.
Yes, it's going to be too much work for you to find her. Better for you to stay here, get a nice cozy fire going in the heater.
The Feld Electric Mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
to electric mural.
One thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her. She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
Mural. Dried Maybells. Interact.
6 crumbling petals rest on your palm. They're white, a bell-shaped crown.
This is the Insulindian lily, called Maybells or Lucille's tears during the Revolution. Girls used to pin these on soldiers before sending them off to battle.
This flower is a spring flower, but it's a bit early for that, isn't it?
The revolutionaries, so the commoners and the anarchists. White's their color, but the custom started in the suzerain's army, so it held meaning for the king's men too. It's about girls and boys more than sides. Girls sending off boys who are going to their deaths, then also dying themselves in the ruins from dysentery and consumption. It's a symbol of the civil war.
Call of Cthulhu? No, I haven't played Call of Cthulhu.
Yes, but not this early, not to my knowledge. It looks dried, preserved. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see.
The petals' water flows under the channel bridge. Dark water. You rub your sides for warmth, but there is none. Inland, above the Martinez distributary, the channel that brought wastewater from the silk mills of Jamrock, and then dead bodies during the war. The wrinkled fingers of an old man crush flower petals, then sprinkle them in the stream like white salt. The bullet is still...
What mural inside?
An old mirror hangs on the...
Hell mural. Up the coast. Explore the coast for signs. Check the boardwalk for bullet traces. Check the island for bullet traces. There's a buoy west of the boardwalk on the coast, somewhere in the reeds. It has miscellaneous fake documents in it. Buoy west of the coast. What are you talking about? This one? Blocked away. I've been everywhere. Where is the mural? Olha. Peraí. Um segundo. Right. In the reeds. And the boardwalk. This is it. Way to go up. We need to go up here. There's a ladder.
You see a once bright mural towering above you. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago.
Step closer.
Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. Felled electrical. How ironic. All these dark rooms. Felled Electrical. You only know them as a small company that makes ink cartridges. Looks like they used to be big. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first.
Why do I feel like I know this place?
Indeed. Somehow you knew it was here. An urban ruin gutted by looters that once used to consume money and dispense warmth and light. You felt it before when it rained in Martinez, and you felt the cold of the rain. The feeling persists. It has been in you ever since.
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there, or in that boat shack, in that church tower maybe.
Why single out this one building?
It says it's impossible. I got 97%.
Even though you're sure you succeeded, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down. The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb. Trying to talk to the wind, the city, whatever you thought would happen, did not. And now you're just standing there with your hands fallen to your side. Is trying to talk to the city something you've done before? Is it in your secret repertoire? A trick for when you're out of ideas?
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our wild cryptid hunt, so we have an understanding of the geography, at least. And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village. Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, displays. I'm sure it won't come to that.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you. An adventure awaits. An adventure on the windswept urban coast.
Keep searching the coast. Can I just consult?
The once bright mural. Suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in front of you in her breath, flowing through it, in through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below the boardwalk, its winding tunnels, a whisper away.
She's down there.
Okay, why?
The wind told me.
So, how do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically.
Finally, my time to shine.
There's a ladder. Climb it.
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
There has to be a way to use brute force. Climbing sounds unsafe. Brute force is safe. Look around and find something to break if the ladder fails. A rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. Some of the rungs are missing.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
Let me wander around a bit. I'll come back here. Like, for example, what the fuck is that?
An old pipe peeks out from beneath the rotting boards of the boardwalk. Could this be an alternative path into the felled building? A building like this must have multiple doors serving various functions. Perhaps a basement access
Examine the plastic ball.
The number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long, but it's already discolored and slimy with silt. A latch holds it close, but only just barely.
Simple construction. Very unsafe.
There's something in there, splashing around. It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated version of the coast. Salt, industrial slop and decay. The water this side of the peninsula is cleaner, actually. Smells a little salty. A shot glass's worth of seawater pours out. Some algae, and nothing else.
Well, damn.
No documents.
I have no idea. Or think we do. This is a small loose end, either way. Not important, I hope.
Maybe Glacia took them.
That may very well be the case. We should keep an eye on her. Nothing more for us to do here. Let's go.
You could ask the miss what she thinks. Later, if you have the time. Though you doubt she'll tell you much at this point.
We still got here too late.
See if there's anything else. Nothing I can do about that building. We try to climb first, then I'll check the pipe. One will work. Try with a ladder.
The rusty ladder leads.
Assess. I shit.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. You'd have to use the mounting brackets. However, they seem corroded and the peeling rust is razor sharp. In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground? And you're 180?
190, I'm a giant.
Okay, but still, the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. Dismounting from the ladder is going to be hard. Perhaps if you were to not climb the ladder. Instead, what if you were to do something more subtle? What if you were to reconceptualize climbing the ladder?
What if I don't climb? What if I just teleport?
Teleportation is not a thing.
Teleportation is a thing, just needs a bit of concentration.
Okay, let's say teleportation is a thing. Wouldn't you need some kind of scientific apparatus to create a teleportation field? You can't just do it without apparatus.
What are they talking about?
Teleportation, Mikhail. It's generally thought impossible.
It won't hurt to try.
Oh yes, it could hurt. A lot.
Teleport to the roof.
All you need to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. You can feel the distance between the bench and the first rung of the ladder. All you need to is zoot, zap, pow, crinkle. It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear, your atoms fading out of existence.
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Bam! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
Don't gloat, just stand there like a samurai master.
You know, for the record, you didn't teleport there. You just climbed the ladder with your eyes closed.
The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant's voice. Faintly you hear,
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside. Don't go adventuring without backup, especially if we think the suspect may be hiding here.
Yo. We take a flashlight. I haven't sold a single item since I started the game, by the way. Big area, this one.
This isn't just glass. These are old computation components. Yes, filament memories. From the time when wires were cast in glass, slides with an inlaid nervous system. The how was a closely guarded secret. Something that was locked in safes in human heads across the river where they were manufactured. As to why, your fingers don't know. The why is easy, because they hadn't come up with modern silicon-based systems yet. For vitreous cast filament memories, though, these seem incredibly advanced.
Suggestion jacket. Let's kill.
Two rusty metal plates that slide apart form a crude door. It's been here under the boardwalk for a while.
What do you mean, who's there? It's me, Kim. Stop playing around and help me get this door open.
Push.
The doors seem to be on rails, but they've gotten jammed. You grab a side and put some strength into prying it open. With the help of your partner, the two metal panels slide open with a creak.
Huh. I hope no one dangerous heard that. Yes, time to investigate these passages. Let's move quietly and not make more sound.
Not running is a great way to do that.
Where the pipe was. Okay, that's a way out. Fine. Under the leather. Crevice in a wall.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. A plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spider web in the lower left corner of the portrait.
Brush the dust.
Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of hair, matched by an ample moustache and sideburns, look a bit silly. Someone crouches, heels digging into wet sand. Hands sweep across the sand, grains sticking to the frayed skin of the fingertips. An old man sits on a slab of concrete and taps his fingers against the glass of a scope. You shudder.
It's Comrade Mazov.
Yes, I can see that. Looks like some communists were hiding out here. They left a long time ago.
The lieutenant does not seem to share your enthusiasm.
How long?
Half a century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing. I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been looted.
One second. What were all the secret weapons?
We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in rundown neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers.
Good hiding place for someone who's up to no good.
Maybe I should move it here, seems cozy.
I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case.
Could it be connected to the Mazov we found in the student's room?
Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
A revolutionary hat. +1 to Mazovian socioeconomics. What? Communist hat. Let me see that shit.
This hat is so
Carries an
soft,
interaction.
so warm. It wraps around your head, and your mind tingles with all manner of socio-economic theory.
Pet the hat. Ushanka.
Kraz Mazov would have worn this Yushenka. Mazov knew where to cook those thoughts. That's why it bears a Mazovian logo. Glory to the revolution, comrade. Whether you like it or not, wearing this hat has made you more communist.
Alright. What is the jacket? There is nothing. And this one. Now you look like a fucking true detective. Empathy, hand-eye coordination. What I wanted to do, yeah. What was the Superstar Cup 13, Apocalypse Cup 1, Sari Cup 8, Boring Cup 7, Communist 18, Fascist 14, Ultra-Liberal 7, Moralist 8. So my choices led for me to be a perfect mix of a communist and fascist. Jesus Christ. That ain't fucking fair. Good cop, bad cop, 29 times good cop. Honor 4. Yo. I got 1 million skill points. Don't even know what I want to do and where to invest. I use volition a lot. What I also use a lot. Conceptualization. What I also use, I use logic. And we leave 3 points. What I use the most, that's what I level. Those are mostly in conversations. Savior Fair is also a lot in conversations. Where is it?
There it is again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange tingling you can almost smell.
No, what do you mean?
Pain, strange tingling.
I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh. No, but you are the sensitive one.
It's not a quib. The situation is dangerous.
Looks like our suspect. If she's in here, we need to plan our next step carefully. Once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do? We'll set in motion events we have no control over.
You will upset the balance of power in Martinez. The deadlock between the company and the Union will destabilize. This part of town is a fine clockwork puzzle. Disturb its peace and it will start breaking down uncontrollably. Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
We found out Everard plans to take the harbor. Maybe we should tell Joyce about it.
I leave that to your judgment. You already know what I think about cross-pollinating information like this. It's dangerous, but...
He just can't be sure. Maybe it will yield something useful.
We met Joyce. We don't know what she knows yet. We should probably find out.
Definitely. I think she knows something. About the mercenaries, maybe. And she won't be around if the situation explodes.
We check the boy with classy documents. I want to hear her take on why it was empty before.
Okay. Why not? Whatever goes down might also affect her. The Union is watching her closely now.
Not closely enough, you suspect. But still, good idea to visit her once more.
How bad could the things get?
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the entire city will be razed to the ground.
If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done.
What's waiting for us there?
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars? I think we've been careful enough. We still have the element of surprise.
I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly been sneaking.
Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deeper, there will be no turning back.
This is the point of no turning back, basically, so... Make a manual save. And see how it goes without doing anything with Joyce and Classier. See what the fuck actually happened. There's Everard also. Equip a gun.
Holding the gun feels natural and satisfying. It's like an extension of your arm, the polished wooden handle almost fusing into your palm.
My hand recognizes it.
It reminds you of the day you first held it, with fear and respect, hoping you don't have to use it in vain. The sun was out in Jamrock. It was so long ago. Sheathe your sidearm, officer. A serious law official, cop by the book, should know to only unholster their service weapon when using it is unavoidable.
No, I'm fucking kidding. That shit with me now. Polar anorak, composure and shivers.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones you can make out.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
As she says the word officer, you feel a spike in the agony. It sounds like the entire radio frequency range is screaming directly into your neural pathways. No, buddy, that's not going to help. You can't shield yourself from this. It's an entirely new type of experience. Way worse than all the previous ones. Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
You help, my brain is on fire. You're under arrest.
Really now? Check this out.
You're overwhelmed with a new surge of violent static. It feels like a blood vessel exploded in your brain.
I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught in its field.
I hate to interrupt the deafening pain you're in, but Joyce said it was possible to force dimensions by using radio waves. This must be one of the devices used to send radio signals across the pale.
Wow, check out the big brains on you. You're not entirely wrong. A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
She likes telling you about the machine. Keep her talking. Look for an opportunity to break loose.
How did you get your hands on this thing?
I built it myself.
And she's proud of it too, as she ought to be. This is way beyond your abilities.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Way beyond.
Will I stay like this forever?
No. Once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself, though. It's a bit like waking out of a very confusing dream.
Have you experienced the compressor yourself?
Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through.
Let's talk about the man who was killed.
Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all there is to say about it.
So she thinks of you as hunters, not cops, and of herself merely as prey.
If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise.
2, 3, 6, 1, 8, 9, 2, 8, 1.
Damn this.
God damn it. Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
The gun she's carrying is a 2-barreled front loader, not like the murder weapon. Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. There's only 3 meters between you and the machine. If you keep her distracted for long enough, maybe be careful when you make your move. That'll be it for questions. Bide your time.
Pain threshold. %. I didn't know we were coming.
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while.
Like hiding bullets under floorboards.
So you found my shack, huh? I'm not surprised.
She didn't rat you out.
So nice. That's one knife I didn't want to find in my back.
As opposed to the other knives she's finding there now. Hardy for one.
Why hide the bullet though?
This could have turned out pretty bad for me if you hadn't walked right into 25 bands of ultra-high frequencies.
That's her admitting the bullet was an emergency exit.
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while. Yeah? What?
Did you shoot Lily?
No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes much of a difference to you. Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first.
It was your girlfriend she cracked?
Nah, she didn't crack. She's a survivor. If she told you anything, it was to save herself. But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me?
Your own boys told us.
My boys? What? I don't even understand what you're trying to get at here. Oh, doesn't even matter. How could they be my boys when they're not even my friends? Those guys liked me, I know it. This is what happens to people whom people like.
A dour despair is creeping into her voice.
How the fuck do the rest of you get by? I did, didn't I? Now you've come for me. Fuck them all the same. What shit? I told you I didn't do it. Sounds pretty simple to me.
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
Would you say that Lily was a likable person?
I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types. Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pines sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of other people around here.
I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings, but I don't think she's perjuring herself.
Plenty of broken people who don't come with that kind of body count. Besides, they're paid well for what they do. I'm listening.
You have an alibi?
Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon me.
15 minutes leak.
Yeah, and I'm sure they also made some funny remarks about it. They always do. I've driven a lot of long haul and chugged a lot of beer, man. Can't do either without some power of mind over bladder. And anyway, that wouldn't have been enough time. Look, fuck you, man. I might also have stopped by the bar.
She speaketh truth.
Wow. Now I'm curious. Please, explain.
You play pinball much?
No. Not since I was 14 and hanging out in the only diner in Dardun. Haven't been into low-risk, no-reward games since moving to the city. Why? Yeah, and probably some ghosts from the time of the suzerain. I'm not really interested in supernatural mysteries. Not murder mysteries either, if that's what you're thinking.
She looks you in the eye impassively, making it clear that she's not planning to comment on the matter any further.
The fuck do elevators have to do with anything? Not particularly. Why are you so hung up on elevators?
That's a pretty good question, actually. She clearly doesn't know anything about the secret passage.
I'm not really into old shit for old shit's sake.
God damn it!
So you know she's not an antiques enthusiast. Not my jurisdiction, man. But it also doesn't sound like she used that secret route at all.
She doesn't need to know then there is a secret way.
I'm listening. And?
Where do you get a gun?
The gun store.
What?
Trigger Happy Jacks. What did you think? That I'm going to squeal on my gun supplier? Sorry, I'm not that kind of gal.
Got another gun somewhere?
Sure don't.
The breech loader?
No.
This is such a wipeout.
What kind of gun is it?
A Nachtway 80 front loader. 2-barreled. Not really what you were looking for, I'm guessing.
That isn't it.
That Merc was probably shot from a distance with a military-grade rifle. Otherwise, everyone at the whirling would have heard the shot downstairs.
We sell antique rifles on the side.
Never really got into weapons trafficking. Especially not old weapons. They break too often, and you don't want unhappy customers among gun collectors. Yeah, evidence.
Like you can go out on the rooftops.
Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Claudia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna.
That the only reason?
The view's pretty bomb, too. But you might say the antenna was the main attraction there, yeah. Along with Claudia. It's very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies. That's how I knew to be prepared for your arrival. Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot had to have come from afar.
Do you have any flowers for Glacia?
No. Gifts of flowers and candy aren't really my style. So now I'm leaving revolutionary symbols around? Come on. I never did understand why, when someone dies, a hothouse's worth of flowers has to die too. No, I did not. Yeah? Where?
Who killed the Merc if it wasn't you?
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been any useful gossip over the radio.
Those rings around her eyes, her tired voice. She's been staying up late, listening in on the conversations crisscrossing Martinez.
Police radio? You've been following the case?
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Clausia's room, lying on his side. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while.
Your version of the Sunday night.
She eyes you warily, as though gauging your sincerity.
It's okay. We just want to...
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over a few beers, like always. Then Claudia comes in, all pale and shuddering. She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her.
She seemed high to you.
Oh yeah, super. But I didn't think too much of it at first. I'd seen her party hard before.
Plus you said you knew something was wrong immediately.
No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. It wouldn't be a first for her. But no such luck. She was in some deep shit. She asked me to come upstairs. The Merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead. I knew she couldn't get the authorities involved, so yeah.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
I managed to come up with a plan.
What? No. Faking a lynching was her idea.
She looks shaken. She wasn't surprised to be ratted out, but framed.
Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up there. It was like she was another person. The party girl was gone.
You can see it. Her lips, though still white, don't seem to tremble as much anymore. She moves with focus and deliberation.
She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck to fake lividity. Then she dressed him while I went to get the Hardy Boys.
Glacia knew exactly what she was doing. You can't remain calm under pressure otherwise.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether to admire her or be disturbed. As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs. No gunshot, nothing.
But even if this is true, weren't you worried the lynching might lead to...
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions either way. Although the way things are going...
She doesn't want to talk about this, but not because she has something to hide. She doesn't want the guilt.
Eh, fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me.
Why hide if you didn't kill?
I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a goddamn La Puta Madre agent.
So this is what she was scared to tell Titus. This cop, that strange, distant fear is getting close now. It's a fear of yourself.
Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon, his human can opener.
Oh, fucking me.
Fucking hell. And why me? You hear through the white noise. It's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
Everyone in Jamrock, the cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm holed up in here with a goddamn death ray waiting for you?
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
What's my real name?
Harry Dubois. One corrupt motherfucker with the disco pants and a funny tie. Agent to La Puta Madre.
So she knows your name. That doesn't mean you're on the tape. Criminals make up bogeyman stories about cops all the time. All of this just means that you're effective. Criminals know you and are scared of you. I don't know. Sounds pretty convincing to me.
Don't even know who La Puta Madre is.
Right. Sure. You don't know.
Could you tell me about it?
I'm sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all to you soon enough. You know what I did. I fucked him over. And now I have Harry Can Opener in my lair. Fucking Titus.
Wait, one thing. Possibly small, but she said you rolled into town. Was that you singular or plural? She might know something.
Was there anyone with me when I came into town?
Yeah, you had your death squad with you. What happened to them anyway?
Who was in this squad?
Well, it wasn't this scrawny dude. You had 2 guys and a lady. The guys looked pretty buff. Lady wasn't bad either.
What else can you tell me?
One of the guys seemed chipper, a blonde. The other had a brooding something or other about him. And the woman was the only one in uniform. All were carrying. That sound about right?
No idea who these people are, literally.
No, it doesn't ring any bells.
Well, this has been a great talk, really. But I think I'm going to hit the road now.
She means it. You better make your move soon.
How about the bunker next door? Playing threshold. Yo. Weird shit happened now.
You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell, but
You okay, Kim?
All good, officer. Be careful.
She looks at the machine, assessing the damage. Her hand trembles.
Oh, fuck it.
She put the barrel of a gun into her mouth. What are you doing?
Problem solving.
Ma'am, put the gun down. That's not the solution to your problems. You are...
Oh, yes, it is.
Convinced to put the gun down.
She's truly desperate. She thinks she has no other options. You need to give her options. You know. This is how you talk her out of it. It's the only scenario in which she lives. She stares at you, frozen, the gun still in her mouth, eyes filled with dark intensity. Then something shifts in her. Her neck and shoulders relax, and her grip on the gun loosens.
Day of miracles. I'll take it.
She runs past you, then past the lieutenant, and disappears into the darkness of the tunnel.
Good call.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I would have done the same had I not been incapacitated.
Or do we just let the murderer go?
I have a feeling we didn't. Her tent. We should check it out.
I should have spoke with Glacia first. I bloody knew it was her from the start. Threw him in. Real.
The plain red tent stands by dispassionately. It was pitched by practiced hands. The tent looks old, but well maintained. In the darkness of the tent, a rolled up sleeping bag, cooking utensils, some books, and a kerosene lamp. It reeks of cigarettes.
Shine the flashlight on books.
Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
See anything?
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine, it's a leather notebook.
Take a notebook.
You pocket the worn brown leather journal.
We should read this immediately, like right now.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like
I need to take a
someone
piss.
used to
Be
carry
right
it
back
around
fast.
in their back
Then we're gonna
pocket.
read it. Shit is getting interesting now. Be right back. Just take a glass of water. Examine.
It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name, Schneller. Schneller is a stationery brand from Gottwald, beloved among architects and engineers. She's got good taste and must have taken whatever she recorded here seriously. The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled. The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently, perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margins.
Yo, said Darkness, thanks for the follow.
It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
It's good she left in a hurry. We could learn a lot from this.
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape. Short, wry observations of people and places. Probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts To sort through some difficult decisions, there are a few passages with many questions in them. The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply,
Thanks.
I know
Thanks,
my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable.
Was she right the day Lily died?
Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely. She is referring to betraying a previous employer. Does this suggest she did it in self-defense?
Anything about La Puta Madre?
That name isn't mentioned as far as you can tell. Small wonder. Would you talk about La Puta Madre in your journal? You do see an M, though. La Puta Madre. M is mentioned on March 9th and March 15th.
Brilliant.
Great. M's peon is coming to town, no doubt to investigate the lynching. But also, I feel it in my gut to finally put a bullet in my head while I'm napping in my lorry or on a smoke break. Well, I won't stick around just to twist my own neck by constantly looking over my shoulder. Then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since I got the call? The call? Did M call her personally? Why? Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. They will rat me out, of course. I've made it a point to believe in the best in people, the boys, for example. But experience tells me, did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. Even I know that. Economic measures first of all. Gotta make a living, right? I can still hear his voice in the receiver. Taste the plastic. The entry ends abruptly.
What is the most recent entry?
The most recent entry is from today. It reads, even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning.
It looks like she might have been framed.
Kim, am I really La Puta Madre agent?
No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure.
Who is La Puta Madre?
The head of a major Jamrock gang, specializing in drug production and trafficking. A very bad person.
He's not 100% sure you're not indebted to this very, very bad person.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that. We have other reasons to arrest her. Besides, I'm not sure her life as a fugitive is going to be much better than we does. Especially if she has problems with the Madre. Could have been Titus. Then again...
No one heard the shot.
Maybe there's a hardy boy we've yet to meet who acted as his accomplice. Either way, we need to keep an eye on him. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling in rags. Questions to ask. We should get to it.
Fucking hell, what now? Return to whirling. Are you La Puta Madre's peon? Determine where the shot kid. Check the boardwalk for bullet traces. Check the island for bullet traces. Shit. We go back to the whirling then. Is she there now? She is. Let me see what she's gonna say about all of this.
You're back. Good.
Spoke with the lorry man.
What word has travelled, yes, but nothing of real substance has surfaced yet, I gather.
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout. It would give them a read on the entire quarter.
It appears we are being monitored every step we take, colleague. Did we have any other business here?
Of course. I'm glad you
disappear.
Yes.
This forewoman.
Does it? The point of the
Thank you for your concern.
Of course.
To the whirling. Fucking hell, it's getting complicated now.
Stop. Just up ahead. Danger. What you have isn't enough. You'll need more firepower. A ranged weapon. Your Kvalzun KR2 multi-tool looks impressive, shining in the cold spring light. But what can it do against military-grade weaponry? Be prepared. Make sure you have your pepper box in your hand. Your fingers reflexively reach for the Villiers 9mm pistol in your pocket.
Then you'd better get ready. Whatever happens, I've got your back.
What?
I'm all out of shits to give, loincloth. Welcome to the fucking reckoning.
Oh my god. Union against the Hardy Boys.
Put your damn gun down. People are gonna get hurt. We need to talk this through. All right? Shut up. I'm gonna talk yourself out of this, loincloth shit fuck.
This is the scab leader. His chest rises and falls under the ceramic breastplate. His fingers reach for the butt of his sidearm.
This is a misunderstanding. Nothing irreversible has happened yet. You can just return to your unit and forget all about this.
The Kipt is merciful, willing to spare us if we just forget about our murdered and humiliated commander. I think we should just kill everyone, Corty.
He was their commander. How long on Disco so far? 39.3 hours, let's say 40 hours. Exclude like 2-3 hours of pauses and similar shit. Around 35 hours, 36 hours.
You are all drunk. Come to your senses. You won't gun down 7 people in the middle of the street. This isn't a frontier town or a jungle outpost.
Easy, Lizzie. Let me handle it. I know guys like this. I'm sure we can come to a peaceful agreement. Ain't that right, fellas?
Peaceful.
Nest in your abdominal cavity like a little wild mouse. The masked man's words are barely intelligible.